Will, this is coming off your tweet the other day. You
soon.
went to the new Jurassic Park movie and tweeted about your daughter being there. So is that a violation? Is that a dad violation, bringing your kid to the movies and letting them sleep?
I think if the kid cries, that's on you. You got to put your hand up. You got to leave the theater. I think you might have to just tell everybody as you're walking, hey, that's on me. I apologize for being a psychopath. I thought I might have been able to pull this off as a first-time dad. That is totally on me. Can we rewind? You're yelling up at the thing like, hey, can we rewind a couple minutes so people can get this scene again? But yeah, very much a psychotic move. But
Jurassic World too.
Nothing happened, bro. Yeah, Jurassic World. Like, we were in there for real. She slept 2.5 hours. I'm talking 7.5 ounces to the head, slept for 2.5 hours. Not a peep out of her. She farted one time. We blamed it on her mom. And we kept it moving. And everybody had, the most, people are saying whatever they're saying, like, oh, so disrespectful. It's like, yeah, the kid didn't do nothing, man. And, somebody was like, hey, if you want to go to the movies, like, don't let the kid dictate your life. Somebody was giving us like advice on saying, if you want to go to the movies, I brought my kid, like, sit and sleep with them. So we're kind of like, let's try it out. Let's see if she goes to the movies. I didn't really know it was
Dude,
so
that was bold. That kind of reminds me of your Draymond Green take. Like, if the baby doesn't wake up during Jurassic World, you're a genius. If the baby wakes up during Jurassic World, it's a huge distraction.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's all about how you can handle it mentally, and it seems like I got the job done.
No, the baby deserves the credit. You're Steve Kerr.
Yes,
you're Steve Kerr taking credit for Steph Curry. No.
So, Will, what will happen when your child finds the bussin' episode with Chris Long and asks, why is the bus so smoky?
Oh man, I don't know. I think you just got to keep it. I think you just got to keep it a band with the baby, dude.
So my kid,
what, your dad got into some natural things. There's a lot of fun stuff you're going to get to do when you get older. But your dad waited until he was 27 to do these things, and let's hope you wait till 27 as well.
Well, kids should wait, and this is me, the dad, chiming in here. Kids should wait until they're like in college at least to smoke marijuana because your brain is developing. I know we make it look harmless and like it's easy to stick the landing, but that's because some of us wait a little longer too. Also, my kid found a zigzag roach the other day outside. And he told me that Johnny Cash had been there. And, my kid's 3. So, like, when my kids found out what dying was, that's a hard conversation. Have some notes ready for that. The first person that I could use as an example, the first person they asked about was Johnny Cash because they asked if Johnny Cash was still alive. And I said, no, he's dead, unfortunately. And they were like, why did he die? And I had to make up a reason, right? And I was like, well, he didn't live a very healthy life. And they were like, well, what did you mean by that? And I was like, well, he smoked a lot of cigarettes. So now they find zigzags and they think Johnny Cash has been here. So have a fucking
that is awesome.
Have a speech ready for when they ask you about kicking the bucket.
But what do you say if your kid sees you and there's a room full of smoke? Like, I can make up something like that, but if they're watching Bussin' with the Boys, she goes on YouTube and figures it out and watches Bussin' with the Boys. Daddy, what's that? Like,
Johnny Cash.
I'm going to do my best not to throw you under the bus. Like, your Uncle Chris, like, he lives a very unhealthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Medicine.
Yeah.
So speaking of things you should enjoy when you're older, when will your kid get a cell phone and when can she have social media accounts?
That's a good one.
That's a really good question. I got a cell phone when I was in 7th grade. And I know it's different, and I'm not going to say, back in my day, so this is how it needs to be. I think it is so hard because it's like I haven't yet wrapped my brain around when these kids are coming up, like their first phone's going to be like an iPhone. You know what I mean? Like they're going to have something. Like, do you go back and get them like some little flip phone and just put a few numbers on it and be like, hey, here's what you use it on? You know what I mean? You only use this in case of an emergency. As far as social media, I think it's going to be hard to contain. I might do my best. I want to say like, I think every parent like wants to say this, but I want to be like a dad where you're having conversations versus like trying your hardest to contain it without having conversations. Because I feel like at the end of the day, it'll be all like building up their mentality about it and how to handle certain things, because it's going to be like, it's way different than when we were growing up. Like they're seeing all these things. Group chat and I were laughing about all these like certain videos that are out there on the internet where they're jokes, and the access that these kids have now, whether it's on their own phone or with their friend, I feel like it's going to really come down to like the conversation you have with them. And that's where the boy's going to try and live and do his best.
I got this idea. So if you really want to limit your kid, but like not appear to be limiting your kid, like act real cool about it, move somewhere with no cell service, get a landline. Hey, this is your landline. You use it as much as you want, all hours of the night. You can talk to any friends you want. And then, and then I also, you know,
you're like building a cult, dude.
No, all of a sudden it's a cult. You don't want people's dopamine receptors to be all fucked up by cell phones, and all of a sudden you're a cult leader. But also there's this, and you're really going to think I'm David Koresh here or whatever. I think you should be able to put a kid on salary if they don't have social media accounts. I think that like.
So you're saying if your son doesn't have social media, he's going to get a yearly wage. He's going to get a yearly salary.
$1,000 a year.
See, that might not be enough. The way these kids are,
definitely not enough.
If he's any good at football, he's going to have an agent like middle school.
No, these other kids are these other parents need to keep the fucking prices down, dude. If somebody catches on to this strategy, they're like, that sounds pretty good. And, you know, these really uppity ass parents are going to be giving their kids like $10,000 a year and shit. These G-Wagon driving kids.
What about your kids' friends?
That's what I mean. That's their.
They're watching their YouTube videos, and then you see the related videos, and the next thing you know, you're going down some weird rabbit hole, and then they realize, oh shit, all this stuff's on the internet. Like, let me start sneaking this now because I don't think my parents would like it.
Well, listen, man. I think if you're talking about comparing what they do in their house, this house, I'm gonna have a sick house, right? You know, like I got a little land, sick house.
We know that, big dog.
You too. You live in Nashville. I mean, fucking NFL
I don't
money
got the
goes
sick
a
house
long way.
But I'm gonna get that sick house.
But the point is my house is going to be sick for one reason, because when I say you can go live with them, I mean it. Like if you like the way they do things over there, why don't you go live with them?
What is your dad date strategy? How are you going to react when your daughter brings home her first date, and how will you handle your daughter's wedding, especially if the lucky gentleman is quite wealthy?
The lucky gentleman is quite wealthy. Are you asking how am I going to handle the arrangements? Like,
are you going to pay? You know how some of the dads pay for the weddings, but more importantly,
I'm not gonna be that way.
You're not going to.
I'm not gonna be that way where I'm paying for the entire wedding. Like, she's gonna know that though. Like in high school when she's starting to dream up her wedding, like, hey, I'm just letting you know, mommy and daddy, you're gonna have whatever dollar amount it is, that's going to be your dollar amount from us, period. You want anything else extravagant? That's where your man's going to have to come in. That's where the other family's going to have to shuffle on in there. Because if we're about equality now, then if we're throwing away old traditions, let's not pick and choose the ones that
this is a bad old tradition. Yeah. I like that.
And as far as her bringing home her first date, you know, obviously the scene from Bad Boys always comes into play. I think it's just going to be, like, I think I'm going to be a dope dad. Like, I think I'm going to be cool about it. I think I'm going to give him, like, there's obviously going to be a stare down. There's going to be some types of jokes that probably come out of my mouth where he might not understand where I'm coming from. He's a little intimidated, which is what you want. However,
like, what the fuck is he? I think that was funny. He's laughing.
Yeah. He's not breaking characters. Rue keeps laughing, but I don't like. She's telling me not to worry about it, but he seems like somebody to worry about. Like when she says, "Oh, don't worry about him," and he's like, "I don't know." He's looking at me kind of weird, and he like makes some. He just looks around for a second. He just sees me standing randomly staring at him, pointing at him. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But then if he's lucky enough to stick around, he's gonna realize like, yo, I'm involved with a dope family. And this comp dude, he keeps referring to himself as comp for whatever reason. He seems like a cool cat.
You know what you should do is have a bunch of frame pictures of you with your shirt off, like all over the house, like in nice frames. Like that's kind of like the decor.
I like that, bro.
You know, like you with the knee sleeves at the beach, that picture at the beach. You should have all that. Yeah. And just have them just.
Dude, that is funny, bro.
Yeah.
Whatever you can do to embarrass your kids, man. I am all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
No question. You should have a podcast. Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.